Welcome to the Social Chameleon Show, where it's our goal to help you learn, grow, and transform into the person you want to become. Today, I'm talking with Dave Glaser, the owner of Fit Life Champions in Denver, Colorado. Fit Life Champions trains busy adults that want to improve mental health, decrease stress, and boost energy. After a few years in business, he discovered a passion for mentoring personal trainers to build a business, master online training, and eventually open his own gym, or their own gym. He also opens his own gym as well. Dave is certified by the NSCA, NASM, and Precision Nutrition. It's a really great conversation with Dave. We go into some tips for boosting energy and decreasing stress. And he shares a very amazing sounding orange chicken recipe, a very healthy chicken recipe. I'm excited to make it. I hope you guys make it and share your posts with me. And we talk about his book and how that came about, his stories and troubles with depression and anxiety. Some fitness and training tips he's got in there, and a bunch of other great things. I hope you really enjoy this amazing conversation with Dave Glaser of Fit Life Champions. Dave, welcome to the Social Chameleon Show. Great to have you here today.
Thank you so very much for connecting. Appreciate it.
No problem. Really excited to have you on here. I guess I want to start off with what gave you the love for fitness? You see you're into so many fitness things and coaching, and you personally, where'd you get that love from?
You know, I grew up watching my older sisters and my parents continue their fitness throughout their adult life. My dad, my mom, and my sister would compete in an annual triathlon together as a team. Up in Montana, you know, they would canoe as a pair, my dad and my sister, and then my mom would ride the bike and my dad would finish off the run. So it was just playing sports as a kid, and then wanted to continue that throughout high school and college. I got into weightlifting, and that was the big game changer right around the time I was 18. Started doing that pretty seriously in college, put on 45 pounds my freshman year in college.
Wow.
A little bit of beer weight and some muscle in there too. But found a serious love for the results and the feeling that I got of just health and wellness overall when I was continuously striving towards those goals that I set for myself.
And did you do a competitive like weight lifting or strength kind of physique kind of things, endurance? What were you into?
Well, at the beginning of my weightlifting journey, it was simply just lifting weights. You know, how much can I leg press? How can I keep myself healthy? But freshman year in college, I had a lot of free time. School wasn't hard for me that year. It got hard after that, but so I was swimming twice a week, rock climbing twice a week, playing racquetball twice a week, and then lifting 3 days a week. So I never got into competitive weightlifting until, probably when I was graduating college at 31. I started to fall in love with power clean and the snatch and Olympic lifting as it applies to pro athletes, collegiate athletes, and high school athletes, which was where I thought my career was going to go the entire time. So if I'm not proficient at lifting the weights myself, then I can't really teach other people how to do that. So I pushed myself. I got up to about 195 pounds on the power clean, and at a modest weight of like 167. Wow. But never really competed on like the official USA weightlifting circuit or the state level. Just wanted to help my athletes that I coach on a monthly basis get to their fastest, strongest, and best performance on the field.
And did you study that in college as well? Was that your major?
Yep. I finished with an exercise science degree and got about 5 certifications after college. And now we're running a studio here in Denver with 3 teammates, a yoga instructor, and online training programs that go across the world.
Yeah. What made you want to start the Fit Life Champions?
Well, you know, I graduated college and I wanted to work with athletes. And so I interned at the University of Denver in their strength and conditioning department. And then as soon as I graduated, I was still a little bit lost, you know, as a 31-year-old guy going back to college. And I wanted to show my daughter that it was very important to finish with a college degree. So it took me about 9 months to find my first client to really dedicate myself to building a business. And that just happened to be my mom. She hired me and she asked me to work out with her once or twice a week at a local 24-hour. And then we got busted because it's kind of frowned upon to train people in somebody else's facility.
Right.
And so she asked me to find something more private, and I landed in a small studio space that I could rent for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And then took the leap and opened my own space. And here we are 2 years later, almost tripling revenue from that first year to the fifth year.
That's amazing. Good old mom, get you on your feet a little bit, huh? That's great.
Yeah, she's always valued what the time is that we spend together. She's been very reliable and consistent for 5.5 years.
Yeah, that's good.
And she keeps giving me raises. I don't know what she's doing, but she drugged my dad along and then gave me a raise for training the two of them together.
Nice. I wish my mom would give me a raise. So it sounds like you had a good spurt between high school and college. What was that about? What were you doing in there? What was happening?
I was raising my daughter,
Okay.
Met her mom in college when I was right around 21. Okay. An unexpected pregnancy led to a young marriage and then a young divorce, and then working a couple of jobs just to make ends meet. And by the time she was 8 and 2008 rolled around, and there were no jobs in the hotel and restaurant industry where I was managing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, if I'm just serving tables or bartending at a restaurant, I'm going to go back to school because this isn't fulfilling my life at all.
And what was that like? What was the self-talk? What were you kind of feeling in that period of uneasiness, and you had that young child and that marriage wasn't kind of working out? What was life like then?
Life was challenging, just now that I reflect back on it, it was truly that I did not have a purpose. Mm-hmm. I was regularly exercising to moderate my mental health and to feel better about myself. And then I always thought that I could outrun a bad diet, but that wasn't true right around 28 years old. Yeah. I started to get some knee injuries from running too many miles and not fueling my body for the proper performance.
Right.
And I was frustrated at work, and I wasn't in a relationship, and I was really challenged in raising my daughter by myself, co-parenting with my ex, but just really lost, and wondering what the next year or two would hold for me if I didn't challenge myself and get outside of my comfort zone and overcoming a limiting belief that I could actually finish college.
Right.
And that's when I landed. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your story.
Well, that's when I landed on the exercise science degree. And so I applied to a couple of colleges that were close to home. And I finished in about 3.5 years once I decided to dedicate my time and go back to school.
Was there a book or an incident or something that happened that really made you say, listen, I got to get my shit together and clean up my life? Was there something like that happened?
I wish I was reading books back then. I think it was another breakup. I had a long distance relationship that wasn't fulfilling my purpose as well. Really frustrated with not connecting and seeing this person in person. Right. It was mostly just phone calls. Skype and FaceTime weren't really around, accessible back then. So the connectivity that I was lacking between close female and male friends, between my family, and then, of course, between the relationship that I was having. And as soon as that was over, I'm like, all right, things have got to change for me, for my daughter.
Right. Yes. Sometimes we need those little things in life to just really kind of kick us a little and say, listen, this is not going the way I want. No more of this. And that's that.
Yep. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Switching gears a little, I was looking around your thing. I was poking around, and I see you guys. I guess your mission or your focus is mental health through fitness and nutrition. What is that? Explain that to me. How did you get on that, and what is that all about?
Well, I had that's a great question, and I love talking about it because it has become my purpose now that this entrepreneurial spirit has really caught momentum, and I want to teach it to other people. But we'll get to that in a second. Sure. So what I had done for 20 years from 17, 18 years old was manage my mental health by running as therapy, weightlifting as self-efficacy is improved with quality lean muscle mass and decreased body composition. Of course, you're going to look better and therefore feel better about yourself. So I saw the benefit of fitness, and then later on in my life, the nutrition piece, so that I could actually improve the way that I thought on a daily basis about my situation, about myself, and about the world around me. And when I began my business based on the laws of attraction, I would have people come to me that were very, very similar to me. However, we weren't talking about it. And that was a reflection on me because I had these stoic walls up or the stoic mask on almost all the time.
Right.
And it was to the detriment of my community that I wasn't sharing the full story. And when last fall, I felt like this tug, this pull in a new direction for the business. And then the Me Too movement came around on social media.
Right.
And I realized that a lot of my community was participating in that social media movement, and they still do. And 80% of my community are experiencing mental health ups and downs, the upward spiral, the downward spiral, and everything in between. Why not actually call it what it is and use fitness and nutrition to improve mental health and decrease stress and then boost energy as a result?
That's great. What would be, for people out here right now, what is your one or two things we could do right now starting today that would help improve that mental health, that decreasing stress, that boosts energy? What are your one or two little things for each of those?
Primarily, the first thing that we want to do is just get the body moving. We want to, get off the couch if that's where we're spending most of our time. If we're stuck at a desk all day at work, we got to get up and move. Like if there's stairs in your office building, take the stairs instead of the elevator. If you have a restroom break frequently, step number 2 is drink plenty of water and eat right. Drink plenty of water so that you have to go to the bathroom, so that you get up out of your desk chair and then go down a flight to use the restroom, go up a flight to use the restroom, take the long way to lunch. Just get the body moving so that your joints feel better, so that your muscles start to work the way that they're supposed to. And then you'll see the improved work productivity. You'll see an improved demeanor, and your quality of life will improve across the board if you just get moving. Right.
I agree. If you can tell, I'm on a standing desk here. I love the standing desk. It's just been a blessing, to just be able to come up and down, and I really like it. I really enjoy it. And you can feel sometimes you know how it's like sitting down at your desk and you're hammering away and you're like, oh, my back and my hips. And it's like, and to stand up and kind of have that different feeling and posture and you're getting something standing here. Yeah. I'm standing up, my body's in a different position. It feels so much better. Some good stuff. I like that. And that's fun. I never thought about going up and down the stairs to use the bathroom. That's right. A little clever little thing. You take 10 stairs up or down, and
it adds up.
Clever. Yeah.
Based on the compound effect by Darren Hardy, we can accomplish a big goal just by taking one step at a time, over and over and over and over again.
Right. That's amazing. So with your business and whatever, and these things that you're doing, when you first started, what are some ideas you had? Like, this is going to be perfect. This is exactly what everybody needs. And it just never happened.
I love that because now that the business has progressed, I work with a lot of beginner trainers who are just starting out. They might not even have a client yet, or they might just have one or two. But what they have in common, which is what I experienced 5.5 years ago, was they have an ideology, and they have this perfect image of what their program design is going to look like, what the end result for their first client or for their second client is going to be. And what I realized very, very quickly is that you cannot hold on to that dream client, that dream ideological philosophy in the fitness industry, because there are so many factors that come into play to help us help other people reach their goals. And the ideology that I held on to very early on in my business was that everyone's an athlete.
Right.
And if I train them like an athlete, they're going to get to these huge gains and these unreal expectations that I have for the human body for my 60-year-old mom. That's not going to fly.
You're a pro athlete. We just got to find it in there. It's in there. We got to just pull it out.
That's exactly where I was at. And what I learned, and thank God I learned this early on, is I need to meet my client where they're at now so that we can move them forward down. If it's measured like a football field, they're going to start on one goal line and then they're going to move to the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, then the 5 yard line, and then the 10 yard line. So one small step forward, getting the body moving, is a step in the right direction. Hell, you're lapping everybody else on that's just still sitting on the couch.
Right. Exactly. It's like even if it's just you go out and you walk to the mailbox and maybe you walk to the corner and back, that's probably a lot more than most people are doing every day.
Or it's more than what you were doing yourself the day before.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's so easy now in this economy we live in. I mean, there's a lot of great conveniences, especially for people that have health issues or mobility issues, to get things delivered to them and brought to them at such great ease. But at the same time, us able-bodied people are relying on these things a lot to bring drive-through food to our house. It's like, I mean, come on. Like, we've got, even I see now, you can have somebody go to the ATM for you and get money out.
Oh, no way. Really?
Absolutely serious.
Who's going to do that? And
I don't want to name the bank, but it's a bank that one of their services they're now offering customers is they have their employee go to the ATM and bring you money. Because a drive-through ATM was already hard enough.
Uh-huh.
Credit cards, PayPal, all these things are just already hard enough.
You know what I call that for me? I call it job security.
It is.
I'm always going to have a client. The more convenient our world gets, the more pain points our ideal client is going to have because of aching joints or just the lack of mobility, or shoot, the lack of active options. Like I just signed up for adult co-ed softball on Monday nights for the 5th season in a row. And
Nice.
The reason why I do that is so that I can find other people that I can relate to. Like, I'm at work all day. I need something to relieve my stress. I need something to connect with a new community. And I'm just going to go do something as simple as swing a bat, throw a ball. And the one thing that I cannot get, if this thing goes online or if it becomes an app, like I can never play adult co-ed softball on an app.
Right. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe soon enough, but there's an app for everything. Yeah. That's the convenience factor that I'm talking about. Is like, I don't feel connected if I were playing a video game, even if I have a headset, I'm talking to somebody else. I've never been much of a gamer, but this is a great example of what our clients come to us, our clients send their boyfriends to us for this reason. They're like, get out of the house, go stop playing video games.
Go see Dave. Go see Dave.
Yeah. He'll actually teach you how to play Madden on a real field.
Right.
So I'm still staying active with things that are not convenient for me. Jiu-jitsu is the least convenient activity I've ever done because it's the most difficult thing I've ever done.
Jiu-jitsu is no joke in it. Surely, it's great sport. It's great exercise, team building, camaraderie. There's so much good there. Great. Most of, not all studios are always amazing family environments, great places. But boy, that will kick your butt.
Every single day. Every day.
Yes, absolutely, all day long. Within your business and maybe even your life, what is a failure you've had? Now, looking back on that, it was really a blessing or just the greatest thing that could have happened. I'm glad that this happened because I'm now at this point.
Yep. The greatest failure I've ever had that I still share with my personal trainers that I work with as their business coach is opening my own studio and thinking I could do it all myself.
You mean you couldn't do it all yourself?
I'm not a very good janitor. I'm
not good at accounting. I hear you.
I'm not a great copywriter.
Right.
I'm great at leading and developing a team, both on the trainer side and on the personal training client side. So what I thought when the studio that I rented space at, keeping my expenses low and keeping my profit high, for the first 3.5 years of my business, that studio was a great platform for me to run my business. I set my own schedule. I recruited my own clients. I worked small group training, large group training classes for the gym, and I got a lot of experience under my belt. And then they moved locations, and I wasn't willing to go with them. So I took the leap and I opened my own studio space. It was about 1,600 square feet. It had a full service kitchen, hardwood floor, so we did yoga. And then it was like a really nice garage with AC and heat. So my existing clientele loved it because it wasn't far from the previous location. Right. But new clientele and new trainers weren't buying into the vision that I had in place. Like, again, going back to that ideological philosophy that we talked about in the beginning of my career. Well, the next step forward was I had another ideological philosophy, and it never panned out the way that I wanted it to. So fast forward a year, the expenses were killing me. The overhead was killing me. I was head janitor. I was head CMO. I was CTO. I was CFO. I was COO, CEO. You name it, I was doing it, and it was exhausting.
Yes.
So I collaborated with my jiu-jitsu gym, and I brought my business into their building, and now we share space, and we're building a community with each other so that neither one of us, the head professor at my school or myself or my team, has to do everything themselves.
That's amazing. That's a great story, and it's good to share that. A lot of people think they have that ideological kind of thing of if it's going to be done right, I got to do it myself and all these things. And I try to tell people, especially some of my clients, it's like, if you broke your arm, would you figure out how to be a doctor right now? You wouldn't. You'd go see the professional. So go see a professional, get your taxes done. Go see a professional, get these things done. Focus on what you're good at, your skills, and just hone in on that. And that's all you should be doing is just those things. That's great you discovered that. It's really amazing.
I realized quickly what my greatest weaknesses were, because it did drain me energetically. Yeah. I had no energy for cleaning my restrooms.
Right.
So I asked a friend for a referral. They actually did commercial cleaning on a large scale. They would do 30,000 square foot buildings in a night. And so I asked them because they're the experts, and they referred to me, one of their previous employees. So I brought him on, paid him a very agreeable amount of money per month to clean my studio twice a week. And he did 5 times as good of a job as I could. Right. And because we built this relationship over time, he became a client.
Nice.
So it almost became like a kind of a break-even point.
Right.
I'd give him revenue in his business. He would give me revenue in my business, and everybody won.
Right.
And he did a 5 times better job than I could. And we helped him lose 30 pounds in the first 3 months of his workout program because we were the experts and he was no longer doing it on his own.
Nice. What other things have you seen from getting that kind of, like Jocko likes to say, a decentralized command? What other benefits and different little things that you never would have dreamed of that have come from that?
Like delegating to a teammate who has better strengths than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we moved into the new studio in like July of 2017. What year is it?
It's 18 now. Yeah, I have to look at my computer.
July 2017, we moved into the new studio, and immediately I got 2 new trainers because the space was more attractive. It was bigger, and they could freely roam, and we had better equipment. It was a good setup. So I started to build that vision really, really quick that I could never get off the ground in the first year of running my own studio. And by the end of 6 months, let's see, they came on in August and September. By December, I took a 2-week vacation.
Wow. That must have been something unheard of before that.
I've never taken more than longer than like a 4 or 5 day weekend, jumped off to Vegas and came back single. Anyways, went with a girl, came back single. You know, that was my kind of weekend. Another story for another time. Anyways, so I took 2 weeks off because I built a team that I trusted. My clientele bought into the vision that they're like, yeah, Dave, you're right. You need to stop working session after session after session and actually go out and tell your story of the improved mental health and how we want to leave a legacy in fitness and nutrition. I can't do that if I'm stuck on the treadmill day after day after day. Right. So my team just knocked it out of the park. They ran the business 2 straight weeks, attending jiu-jitsu classes as a member.
Right.
But I never stepped foot in this for 2 full weeks. And that was the big tipping point forward. Now I only work about 8 session hours a week with clients.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. It's a great story. It's good to have that practical examples. I tell people a lot of that. If you can't go on vacation, if you can't walk away from your business, if somebody came into you right now and said, hey, here's $1 million, I'm saying your business. If you're like, well, I don't know. I'm not here. I can't, this doesn't run. You really need to start rethinking, reevaluating what you're doing and starting getting those systems in place. You should be thinking about, if I sell, can I sell right now and walk away? And if you don't have those systems in place, you really should be thinking about, I'm glad that's what a great story. I really do like that.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was definitely not something I did on my own. I went out and I sought out business experts to become a student of theirs. And I found the right community where we met in a group twice a month. And I learned certain systems that I never thought of before to apply to my personal training business so that it wasn't dependent on me. And where I'm at now is I actually want to be replaceable in my business. So we recruit interns from a local university. My alma mater, Metro State, has fed us a couple of interns that were both very qualified to take over my position in the business. And then I, on a constant search to find the next trainer who believes in my vision enough to take over the day-to-day operations of the business so that I can go out there and self-publish my book, do speaking engagements, and speak to more people like yourself.
What does a typical training session with you look like? What is your methodology on that?
So we ease into it. You know, we're going to work an active warm-up that develops an rate and an intramuscular temperature to prevent injury. Then we walk our way through a dynamic warm-up. That's basically like active stretches that you do with movement through all planes of motion and through every single joint of the body to prevent injury. And then we get into a big lift like a deadlift or a squat pattern, and we focus there. Like day 1, day 2, day 3 of the week, we pick which one we're going to work with. Okay. And we focus on form, safety, low risk, high reward, so that our clients get to their goals quickly and safely. And then we work a few extra exercises after that that are more accessories to that big lift that complement it, that help us gain strength, gain size, or gain endurance while decreasing body composition, lowering stress, improving energy, and moderating mental health. And then we always go through a cool down segment of the workout, whether that's self-myofascial release on a foam roller or static stretching or partner stretching that is based on our client's utmost needs, the need at hand.
So it's mostly, if I could summarize, a weightlifting kind of move stuff, pull stuff, lift stuff kind of thing instead of a spend 30 minutes on a treadmill kind of workout?
That's right. We don't even own a treadmill in our studio. We don't own an elliptical. We have one rower that our team shares. That's just for the warm up, or like an interval sprint in the middle of a strength training program to boost the cardio. We do believe in programming cardiovascular health and to moderate weight loss. But what we've learned over time is that when we plug in a shorter duration cardio burst on a treadmill or elliptical or a bike at the end of a weight training program, we actually reach our goals faster in less time.
That's good information for people. I see a lot of people, they waste a lot of time. My wife and her coworker, they go to the gym after work, and they're like, "Oh, I burned 240 calories on a treadmill." I was like, "You guys just did like 4 or 5 squats. You'd have been out of there in no time." Like,
Yep. And as I learned in my second life, basically after hotel and restaurant management, going back to school for exercise science, what we learned is that the body continues to burn calories 24 hours after a weight training session, but it's only about a 3-hour window after a cardio session.
Right.
So if we're looking to lose body composition, improve self-efficacy or self-confidence, why would we spend time on a treadmill unless we really enjoy running? Nobody enjoys running. They're just
not many people.
Runners are crazy.
They are weird people.
And as a professional, if I had the choice between the two, I'm going to pick the one that's going to get you to your results faster, and that's weight training.
And then, I mean, not in just a sense of fat loss. I mean, there's so many more benefits to, the muscle and the skeletal thing, your bone density. And you could probably go on and on about the benefits of having a strong body from weightlifting and moving heavy things versus wandering around on a treadmill for an hour.
That's right. I'm going to nerd out about that bone density thing you just brought up.
Do it. Let's hear it. Let's share some knowledge with the people so they don't think I'm crazy.
You're not crazy at all. I'll sum it up in just one quick sentence. When we choose weight training to apply to our bodies, the external resistance of that weight causes our muscles to bend, twist, and strengthen our bones as a result of weight training. We don't get that when we're on a bike, when in fact, people who are tested, cyclists, people who are obsessed with cycling like Lance Armstrong, the elite level cyclists spend so much time on the bike with no impact whatsoever with the ground that their bone density is one of the weakest out of all professional athletes.
Wow. Similar to what you say, maybe like an astronaut, something like along those lines where they have that bone loss?
Because there is no gravity in space, there's no resistance. Weight training for NASA astronauts has actually become a niche in the industry that is one of the fastest growing because there's so much activity going on in space. There are a few astronauts, but the select few trainers and coaches and exercise physiologists that are working in that niche right now are doing great advancements on how to weight train people with no gravity.
Right.
And that's very similar to what a cyclist experiences. So the number one prescription to prevent osteopenia and osteoporosis in a cyclist is weight training to complement their cycling.
Yeah, I've seen some really, really interesting machines and stuff that are coming out of that kind of space program space that are, I really want to get my hands on some of those machines and really test out I'm sure you know a lot about those. They're really, really interesting.
Are you talking about the air compression machine that makes like a little psst sound when an athlete pushes against it?
Maybe it's that one. And there's this other one I seen. It was, it looked like I think you're just holding or pushing or pulling and the machine is pulling resistance and you're just kind of, you seem stationary, but the machine is providing that resistance. Right. I've seen that as well.
Isometric contractions are one of the strongest contractions. You can hold a weight in the same position for a lot longer than you can pick it up and set it down. One of the tricks, one of the cheapest modalities out there for strength training is a resistance band.
Okay.
It's multifaceted. You can go in any direction, up, down, left, right, forward, back with a resistance band. And guess what? Resistance bands work in space.
There you go.
Like if I'm pulling a resistance band apart like this, you can't hear this or can't see this on the audio portion, but I'm pulling my hands apart and I have a band between them. That works anywhere in space, and you can variable resistance as well. You can make it tighter, you can make it looser, you can make it bend up, you can go down, you can go around. Resistance bands probably the best place for somebody who's beginning a weight resistance training program to start, because it's low risk, high reward, gets the body moving, and you're going to protect your joints at any age with a great benefit almost immediately.
I need to get my resistance bands out of the garage and put them up here by my desk. I like this little idea here.
Do it while you're taping a podcast.
Do curls while I'm doing stuff and doing some shoulder presses. I like it.
Ask a question, do 10 reps. Ask a question, do 10 reps.
I'll make my guests do it too. Like, let's guys, let's go.
That's the weekly challenge that we were talking about.
There you go. There it is. And you know, the other thing I was poking around, looking at your stuff. You're really into this meal prep thing. Personally, I don't like it. Can you convince me why I should start?
Oh my gosh, you have given me the challenge that, like, my heart's racing. I'm just pumping so fast. I want to convince you so quickly. It comes down to who our client is and why they would want to meal prep. So correct me if I'm wrong. You work mostly from home?
I do.
So the convenience factor for you is there's a kitchen right downstairs. If I'm going to take a lunch break and I enjoy the cooking process, I'm going to take half an hour, cook my food, eat it fresh. Right. So the purpose for you for meal prep may actually be different than somebody like me who I got here at the gym at 6 a.m. and I'm leaving at 6 p.m. because I have administrative duties throughout the day. And then I get to jump on a couple of podcasts today, actually. So my necessity is that I have to eat my breakfast here at work.
Right.
I have to eat my lunch on a dedicated lunch break. It's at least half an hour where I don't do any work. And then I have to have my morning snack and afternoon snack either on hand here in the office or prepared in my lunchbox. So my needs analysis, if I were my own client, I would program meal prep for myself.
Okay.
Where you would want to actually meal prep is to save time and to save money.
Okay.
Say like your day yesterday was from 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. of just straight up recording, Zoom calls, marketing game plan. And it was like your biggest money generating revenue day ever.
Right.
You made $200,000 yesterday because you worked from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. straight. Even though you have a kitchen 10 feet away, 10 seconds away, you wouldn't have time to actually make the meal, nutrition, like to fuel the body for performance. You would just grab something quick, and you would grab something that's easy, that's already pre-made. Maybe it's a mass-produced food, or maybe it's a bag of chips, or that Greek yogurt that's high in sugar. Anyways, those are just a couple examples. Yeah. Grab and go. You're going to grab what's easy. You're going to grab what's available and on hand and quick. Well, what we're doing for meal prep for professionals who have a lifestyle like that, even though they work out, even though they work at home,
right?
They're generating their salary on a monthly basis. They need to have a grab and go meal prepared ahead of that busy Wednesday. So I choose to do it on a Sunday for an hour and 15 minutes. I cook my protein. I cook my grain rice, brown rice, sweet potatoes, or quinoa as my carbohydrate. And then I have my fats on hand. So I need to grab and go. And on a day like yesterday, you may have needed to grab and go your lunch as well.
Right.
And if you have a day when you're working through lunch, because we all have it, we've all done it. I'm guilty. Work through lunch, maybe on a conference call, maybe on like you're teaching your second in command how to do a new task, and all you need to do is observe, but you still need to be there, like eating through work. That's when meal prep would be the perfect fit for your lifestyle to maximize your productivity throughout the day while saving time and saving money by preparing your meals ahead of your busy work week.
I like that. Typically what I do, I just get bags of lettuce, dump them in a bowl, throw a little avocado oil or something, or MCT. I really like Onnit has those emulsified flavored MCT oils. Just throw that on there, some pumpkin seeds and stuff, and I just kind of eat that, and throw a can of tuna or something in there, chicken or whatever. That's usually what I do because that's just easy for me. But I like this meal prepping thing. I might have to get on this.
I love that actual meal that you just put together. You had a lean protein, you had some fats, you had some carbohydrates. So the actual meal that you put together, grab and go style, in your kitchen when you have 30 minutes to set aside for a lunch break.
Right.
What I cannot do is I can't eat the same thing every day.
Oh.
Right? So I have 2 to 3 go-to lunches that I prepare in alternating weeks. Like week 1, I'll have these 2 to 3. Week 2, I'll have these 2 to 3 that are built on the same principle of macronutrient consultation. And then I don't get bored with my meals. Oh. Because I need to, I don't know if you can keep up with how quickly I'm talking, but this is me all the time. I'm a go, 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 go.
I hear you.
I get bored real quick. I get distracted real quick. So I cannot eat the same thing every day.
Now here, I alternate usually the protein or whatever, and then usually I get saucy for dinner. So that's usually where my variety comes in.
You get saucy for dinner? Is that what I hear?
Yeah. That's where I find the spice or the variety or something new. I was trying out the HelloFresh, something different. I was checking that out. I got a meal thing last week, made some different things. That's been kind of fun.
Good. And it's convenient too, that all the ingredients are right there. You just get to do the cooking, which is what most people enjoy. Most people don't enjoy going to the grocery store.
Yeah. That's the last thing. I want to be in the store for anything. I'm good. I just bring it to my house and I'll figure it out when I get here.
Right. So what we did after, let's see, the Prep Wars meal prep system is about 3.5 years old. Okay. And we've had clients in Vietnam do this program. We've had clients in Utah and then local here in Denver. It's a quick 4-week meal prep workshop that's virtual. You access it on your phone. But why I bring that up is the one area where I didn't create any type of meal prep was dinners in the very beginning. Okay. And then based on the feedback of the first round of clients that went through it, 12 at a time, they just blasted social media with #Prep Wars because we were trying to compete and who's going to do the best meal prep this week? Let's share it on social media and one-up each other.
Right, there you go.
And their feedback was like, Dave, how do I make dinners fast and easy, but still have that variety?
Right.
So what we chose to do is educate people online with an online course that's easy to use, and teach them how to dice their chicken, portion it out, freeze it, and then grab it out of the fridge, grab it out of the freezer the morning of, so that it's thawed and ready to go for dinner. And then it's easier to actually meal prep your dinner, kind of like I'm making my own HelloFresh once a month.
Yeah.
And then on a daily basis, when I need to pull out that fish or when I need to pull out that diced chicken, I'm good to go. I'm preparing for my busy work week.
That's a good idea. Usually with me, it's 5, 6 o'clock, and I'm like, oh crap, what's for dinner? And I'm like, open the freezer. I'm like, oh, everything's frozen. I got frozen meat in here. I got all kinds of great meat in here. I got some venison, some elk and steaks and chicken. It's like, it's all frozen. Oh,
right.
I like that idea. I've got to think about this maybe the night before, and then in the morning when I get up, pull that out of the freezer. That's good. So your Prep Wars, it's just a course to teach people how to do this. You're not sending them anything.
No, who has time to cook for 1,000 people?
You could have a facility. I don't know.
I've got a lot going on. So that's one thing that I didn't want to do is I'm passionate about cooking for myself. I love cooking. I love chopping my own veggies. I love actually sauteing my entrees, but I couldn't do that and fit it into my week for other people. So here's what we're doing. We're teaching a man how to fish so that he can eat for a lifetime.
Love it.
And we're applying any nutritional program that you want to apply to it. A keto diet, a paleo diet, vegan diet. Vegetarians can actually use the meal prep principles that we're teaching you to save time and money and reach their weight loss, weight gain, or weight maintenance goals.
What is either your favorite or the community's favorite go-to dinner, whatever it is, lunch, breakfast, whatever you guys go on? What's the favorite? Share us the recipe.
My personal favorite is actually a healthy version of a Chinese dish, orange chicken.
Ooh, I love orange chicken.
This is using agave as a substitute for sugar. This is using fresh squeezed orange juice. It's using you can use an oat flour to bread your chicken and make it just like you're going out to P.F. Chang's.
Oh.
And we've created this orange chicken recipe with the healthiest version that you possibly can have and yet still enjoy your favorite Chinese dish.
That sounds good. Would it be possible you share that with me and I post it in the show notes?
Yep. Let me upload it to the brand new website as a blog. And it will only take me a short amount of time to do that, but it would be my pleasure to share that. That's
perfect. That's perfect. You know what I found too, a few, maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I started getting into, I was eating this typical American diet and I thought I was doing a good job. I was like, man, I just keep getting fatter. Like the older I get in here, I just keep getting fatter. I'm like, I'm decently active. I swear to God, I eat as good as possible. And I'm getting fatter. So I started looking into this nutrition. And the weirdest thing of all that I found out was the better the ingredients you use, the food tastes 10 times better than anything ever. You can make the same, I don't care, chocolate chip cookies, but you use the best chocolate chips you can get. You use great quality butter. That stuff just blows my mind how good something can taste with such high quality ingredients. And you can keep it simple. Like that recipe is not hard, and I bet you that's the best orange chicken you'll ever have in your life.
It's pretty good. I could eat it every day, and I love variety in my nutrition. So you get what you pay for in everything in your life.
Yes.
A service-based business. If you go discount, you're gonna get a quality of service that's down to the level at which you buy at the discount. So when I go out, when I'm buying anything, I never look for the best price. I always look for the best value.
There you go.
The same thing applies to food. If you're shopping for the best quality ingredients, your foods that you prepare, your meals that you prepare at home will actually taste better, and you can still get to your weight loss goals while living your best life. And what I like to coach our clients on is you pick a level. I'm going to meet you where you're at. And if you want to start at a 70-30 diet, then eventually get to an 80-20 diet, and then make your way to a 90-10 diet, which is where I live, then we will help you get there through the process of meal prep.
What do you mean by 70-30, 80-20? I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad that you clarified that, because I really want to explain this concept as succinctly as I possibly can. 70% of the time, I'm 100% committed to my nutrition and fitness goals. 30% of the time, I'm going to live my life as I see it. Drink what I want, eat what I want, be as lazy as I want.
Right.
Do you think that a 70-30 nutrition plan or commitment is going to get you to your goals?
I think it'd be pretty close.
Okay. It'll get you headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
And once you set this new lifestyle in place, you're going to actually do this natural curiosity thing of like, what's next? How do I improve upon where I was then, where I am now, and where is possible to go in the future? And that's when we stair step up to an 80-20 lifestyle choice. Okay. 80% of the time, I'm 100% committed to my goals.
I love
20% of the time, I get to go on vacation. I get to eat at the buffet. I get to go to Vegas. I get to do this. I mean, if you like to drink, it's a lifestyle choice.
Right.
My process has gotten me to arrive at a 90-10 nutrition program.
What is that? What would a 90-10 week look like? Is it like a cheat day, a cheat meal? How does that look?
So this is going to sound so regimented and so type A that it gives people kind of the wrong impression. So let me just break down how a typical week works in a 90-10 lifestyle.
Sure.
Sunday breakfast, I'm cooking like a brunch style breakfast. This fits into my 90% lifestyle choice, actually. I can still have breakfast sausage. I can still have bacon. I can still have eggs. I can still have pancakes with my 90-10 choice. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick like a sweet potato pancake. We're going to pick turkey bacon. We're going to pick the best quality bacon that we can find. I'm going to pay for it. It's like $10 a pound. I'm going to find ground turkey sausage links or ground turkey patties. Those are my alternatives, just egg whites for breakfast. But what I'm going to do at breakfast is I'm actually going to start preparing my meals for the week.
Oh.
I'm already cooking breakfast. I might as well cook 4 more breakfasts for Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple.
You're already there.
Yeah.
Everything's out and ready to go.
Then in the afternoon, I'm going to prep everything else. I'm going to portion out my snacks. That means veggies or fruit. I'm going to actually prepare my lunches, which might be a lean, green, mean salad that you were talking about. But it might also have some carbohydrates, some complex carbohydrates in there, because my jiu-jitsu regimen is at 11:30 on a Tuesday, Thursday. My post-workout meal is my lunch. So I'm going to refuel with carbs.
Right.
So I'm going to finish preparing my meals in about an hour and a half. That includes dinners as well. And then I'm going to actually take a break for the rest of the day, and I'm going to enjoy whatever dinner it is that I want on a Sunday night. Okay. Then Monday, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, all fits into that 90% lifestyle. I'm 100% committed to my goals, eating my meal prep throughout Monday through Thursday. Okay. And that's refueling me for performance, because jiu-jitsu expends a lot of energy, so does weightlifting. So I have to eat 3,300 calories every day.
Oh yeah, I do acro yoga Monday and Tuesdays. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but very, very intense. Come Wednesday, I probably eat 5,000-6,000 calories. I am so hungry. Oh my God.
And you asked me about cheat meals or a cheat day, and we do program them in there. Early on in my career, my cheat meal was Thursday lunches. Okay. I very rarely had a Thursday afternoon client, so I would actually enjoy myself Thursday lunch. Well, now that jiu-jitsu class is 11 to 1, I have to actually refuel my body for performance after that class. So Thursday lunch out can no longer be a cheat meal. So I actually wait until Friday dinner to not be a cheat meal, but actually to be a refuel meal. So I no longer beat myself up with that negative connotation of the cheat meal. I actually positively reinforce myself by refueling my body so that I can perform the next day. And that dinner on Friday night is part of the 10%.
What is a typical What does a typical Friday night dinner look like for you? That refuel dinner.
It can be twice as much of a portion size of Thursday night's dinner. It could be a burger and a beer. It could be pizza with the family. My daughter comes to see me Friday nights, leaves on Sundays. This is kind of why my lifestyle is the way that it is.
Yeah.
So that she and I can enjoy our time together in a celebratory fashion, like we finished out our busy work weeks. I'm not going nuts. That's just like one beer and then whatever I want for my entree, either at home or out. Doesn't matter. And then Saturday throughout the rest of the day, I'm back on point. That's my 90%. Saturday dinner, that's another choice meal or a refuel meal. I just need to take away that negative connotation of a cheat day.
Right.
Because then I beat myself up for 7 days because I called it cheating. But if I call it a refuel, well, shoot, there's no negative connotation in there anymore. Then I'm more apt to adhere to a nutritional program that I believe in. Because I'm not punishing myself for eating terribly. I let it go. I put it in the past, and then I move forward with my breakfast on Sunday morning.
I like the way you use that you frame it in a certain way like that. I really like how that's a nice little mindset trick there, and you frame it in a way that doesn't matter what you eat because it's got its intended purpose, and that's what it's for. I like that.
I'm glad you're on board.
Kind of switch gears a little bit here. You noticed, and you kind of spoke earlier too, you wrote a book, Aspire Higher. Why and what was that process like? All
right, let's dive deep. So using fitness and nutrition to improve my mental health for the last 20 years is essentially the premise behind the book. Okay. And you were talking about catalyst moments where we need to make a lifestyle shift or our life actually changes in a moment. And 17 or 18 years, there's a catalyst. When I'm 17 or 18 years old, there's a catalyst moment in my life that everything thereafter changed. You could call it the butterfly effect or whatever, but I had been battling depression and anxiety for 20 years all by myself.
Okay.
And I was only using fitness and nutrition to actually keep myself level on an even keel and healthy mentally. I refused to speak to anybody about it. I distanced myself from any spirituality. And then I was shut down and guarded and walls up for 20 years.
Wow.
Well, another catalyst event actually occurred 20 years after that. And my daughter and her health deteriorated, and she spent 10 days in the hospital. And I didn't know what the future was going to hold for us. So this catalyst moment, 20 years after the first, propelled me on a new and different path. One, it created an opportunity for me to rebuild a relationship with God, which I had been missing. That was a big key piece of the puzzle in my life that I was missing. It allowed me to seek out a community in church because I knew that I couldn't do this journey alone.
Right.
And what that spirituality helped me do is keep the faith and actually give me hope that things could change. So I went through a breakup during the time that my daughter was in the hospital.
Oof.
And it destroyed me mentally, physically, and emotionally. But thank God I had that spiritual piece in my life and jujitsu as well. So fast forward a little bit down the road, and I'm working on these steps in the process through my spiritual journey and then through my parenting journey. I get into a new relationship. My daughter's health deteriorates again twice during this short period of time. And then that relationship ends because everything was just like blowing up in my face, and business was good. I mean, like I said earlier, I took that 2-week vacation because I was systemizing my business. What if I didn't systemize my business? My business would not have made it through this turmoil in our lives. But because I could step away momentarily throughout the week to be with my daughter or be with the relationship or be with myself, then the business would have actually gone away. So another catalyst event when the new relationship ends, again, depression and anxiety came back full force for me, and it sent me to rock bottom. Thank God, jujitsu. Thank God I had a relationship with God. And then I started seeing somebody professionally, and I go spend each week I spend time with a career counselor. They're consultants for me. They help me become a better father. They help me become a better man. And that was the catalyst moment for me to really essentially begin journaling about the previous 20 years of my life. But I did it on the computer because I can't handwrite anything.
Right,
it really bothers me. It's so archaic. It's not convenient enough, right?
Right.
So I started journaling in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that story was good enough to share with other people.
Oh.
And in about 4 months, it got to about 50,000 words. And that equates to 200 pages once you actually publish and print.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? Let me put this in front of an editor or 2 or 4.
Right.
And I got some professional feedback on it, and they say, let's do these 5 things in a self-publishing kind of a path.
Uh-huh.
And they gave me the positive feedback that gave me the confidence boost. But I also saw the benefit of fitness, nutrition, spirituality, a community, counseling, and then journaling on top of that took me from rock bottom all the way up to a completely different person. And what I've chosen to do with that book is I've chosen to actually release it for free before I actually publish it. And there are 2 places that you can find that. One is probably the best place to find it is on daveglaser.com. You can click the link at the top in the menu bar that says Aspire Higher Book, and you can get the first few sections emailed to you, but then it redirects you to a website called Medium, where bloggers and authors can post their things for free.
Right.
I've posted this book in a series fashion on Medium. You can find it there and read it as I publish a new section each week.
Oh, that's amazing. And we will link that in the show notes for you folks, so it's easy for you guys to go ahead and get right over to there. I was poking around and looking at it earlier.
I appreciate that. That would be awesome to share the message. And overall, I kind of breezed over it just a little bit, but the message of the book is if you're dealing with mental health and you need to seek out a solution, 1, you're going to find out that you cannot do it alone. 1, you're going to find out that you cannot do it without regular exercise and proper nutrition, especially to avoid pharmaceuticals.
Right.
And lastly, if you continue to have your walls up and be guarded with the people that are supposed to love you most, you will never accomplish that great change that you know you need in order to become your best self.
That's beautiful. And is your daughter doing okay now? Is she everything okay? You guys got that sorted out? Yep,
things are improving. We do have our swings up and down with her health, but she's very, very intelligent. She's also a talented writer. She's working on her first book also. Nice. I read it and I'm like, holy crap, this is like at enjoyable level for me to read.
Yeah.
It's about a high school child. It's about a high school kid who struggles with fitting in, basically. And my daughter's an exceptionally well-read and very, very talented writer, way better than me.
You need to hire her to ghostwrite for you.
Maybe the second book.
Yeah. Can you ghostwrite for Dad? We got to get something going here.
She'll tell my story from her point of view, and it'll be a totally different story.
There you go. She'll hit the New York Times bestseller list. You'll be like, oh!
No, I'd be so proud. Oh, my gosh. You'll see her there one day. She's that talented.
I'm glad to hear that you guys are managing her health and stuff. That's good to hear. That's the tough. I look at that and I'm so blessed that I at this moment when I don't have no of those problems, my kids, and I look around and it says, these things, they can go away at any minute, people. And you gotta be grateful for them and understand that these things aren't guaranteed for you. Anything can happen at any moment. Be grateful for what you have today and everybody's health and everything is doing good.
That's absolutely correct. Wholeheartedly agree with that.
So what does a typical day look like for you? What is either the habits or morning routines or whatever that if you get those 1, 2, 3 things done, you absolutely win the day no matter what else happens?
I love this. I love this question because about 2 years I read The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And not only did that book change my life, I lost 8 pounds by using the principles of the healthy habits that are in that book. But my clientele started to see better results too, because I would share the book and then I would share what I learned in our sessions, and I would actually, through that knowledge, impact their lives greater than I had in the first 3.5 years of my business. It was crazy that I didn't expect our clientele to actually get better results. But because we started implementing these 7 healthy habits into their daily routine, they saw greater results faster and safer. So if I get plenty of sleep, if I drink plenty of water, if I eat slowly, if I eat to 80% full, if I eat plenty of veggies, I can eat as many veggies as I want to lose weight. I could eat 5,000 calories a day. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating, but just every day will help us lose weight. Fiber, it's the trick.
It is.
If I give myself time for rest, that is a key component. So that's number 6. And then if I take time for me, if I implement this self-care program and plan in my own life, I actually reach my goals faster. I'm a healthier human being. My mental health is improved. And I'm also enjoying life a lot better, which means I'm easier to spend time with, which means I make better relationships, which means everyone's happier. And we can actually see that positive change if we do those 7 things.
That's nice. What other books that you either gift or really like or recommend that has helped you on your journey?
I wrote this blog on the website, and I'm an avid Audible fan. I can't actually read a physical book. It's something about the page turning, or it's something about like multitasking. Got to go. So on my commutes that were about 45 minutes each way, I began with The Big Leap. The Big Leap is an amazing book that helped me identify what my limiting beliefs were so that I could overcome them. Those 2 are burden and a fear of not being good enough. And I was telling our intern this morning, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so he's much more philosophically in tune and very humble person. He says, Dave, you're not alone, right? And of course I know that to be true because I got the opportunity to read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and it changed my life. It changed my business. I actually increased revenue by $12,000 the year that I read The Big Leap.
Wow. Because
I no longer felt like a burden on my clients, future clients, or past clients. Because I dealt with my own stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's book number 1. That's the one that I recommend to everybody. Mindset is an amazing book. It's The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. I hope I'm getting her last name correct.
We'll link it in the show notes for you folks, so it's easy.
Yeah, Mindset is a phenomenal book. Am I stuck in a growth mindset, or I'm sorry, am I flourishing in a growth mindset or in a fixed mindset? And when I needed to make the change from fixed mindset, well, things will never get better. I'll never be a great trainer. I walked out of jiu-jitsu for the first 3 months, never thinking I'd be good at the sport. And without a growth mindset, I would have quit the first week. But knowing that the foundation of jiu-jitsu or anything in our lives grows over time, like the knowledge of another person allows me to grow in that relationship. So I'm not going to meet somebody and know on the first date that like they're the one. Oh my God. Like that's an ideology that we need to get rid of in the American culture. Well, the more we learn about a person, the more that relationship grows. But if I'm stuck in a fixed mindset, I'm going to meet this person on the first date and ignore 90% of the things that they're saying if they're not saying 100% of the content that resonates with me. I'm just going to walk away and never even give them a second chance. That's a fixed mindset. But with a growth mindset, go out with somebody new, sit down, either have dinner or drinks or coffee, and maybe pick out 2 or 3 words that might be aligned with your core values, and then give them a second chance. You're only going to remember that small 10% of the conversation anyways. So focus on those few things that are value, and then implement this growth mindset, and you will actually have relationships.
I like that. I think I'm gonna have to pick up some of these books. Yeah, I love the recommendations.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Where can what's the best places for people to get a hold of you? Where should we send people to learn more about you and what you're up to?
DaveGlaser.com is probably the best place to find me. That tells a lot about my story and how I ended up building the business that I have. I'm very active on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is my first and last name, Dave Glaser _CSCS. That stands for Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist.
Okay.
Connect with me there. That's a great place to stay up to date with Insta stories and my family life. That's pretty much the only place that I share. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, so
happy birthday.
Yep, she's sweet 16.
Oh boy, that sounds like fun.
And then finally, if people are more interested in the fitness and nutrition programs, then fitlifechampions.com is the best way to book a free consultation.
Okay. That sounds great. And like I said, we'll link all those up so you guys can easily get a hold of Dave and what he's up to, keep in touch with him and whatnot. Dave, here on Social Community Show, we like to do a weekly challenge. And this week, I'd like to get you to do the challenge.
Okay. Awesome. This is free form, like free flowing. I can come up with whatever I want and challenge our audience.
Challenge all the listeners and the viewers. Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get moving. We talked about it earlier in the show where simply just take a few extra steps on your way to lunch, on your way to the restroom. But I want you guys to get your bodies moving for the next 7 days. So at fitlifechampions.com, we have already set up a 7-day healthy habit challenge. You can go onto the website underneath the menu bar. It says free week. This will send you those 7 healthy habits that I talked about earlier and how you can implement and why they're important in your life. You'll also get 3 free gym workouts to try on your own in a reasonably well-equipped gym like 24 Hour Fitness so that you can keep moving using that resistance training, the weight training to build stronger bones, better lean muscle mass, boost your energy, decrease stress, and improve your mental health.
That's amazing. What a great challenge. Before we wrap up, is there anything you wanted to share that we didn't get to or anything like that?
Wow. I mean, we covered everything. Well, almost everything, Hopefully you guys take away 10% and then come back for a second date to get the rest of the 90%. But there's one thing that I hold dear, and it's a great quote that I share as often as I possibly can. And your business will only grow as much as you do. And what Bob Sugar is saying there is, if you're not learning, you're dying. And your business will go south very, very quickly if you don't grow personally. Another reason why I recommend The Big Leap mindset, You Are Badass by Jen Sincero, Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. These are book recommendations that will get you unstuck from the position that you're in now so that you can live your best life, whether it be professionally, personally, blending the two, or emotional connections at home, a future emotional connection. That's what I want to leave with you guys today.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been just wonderful talking with you on here. Thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been really great. And like I said, guys, we'll link up everything so you guys can get to all his different things, his book and everything in the show notes. Thank you so much, Dave, for being here today. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate it as well. That was a lot of fun.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. What a great conversation with Dave. Dave, thank you again for being on. It was really just an absolute pleasure. Like I said, we'll link everything in the show notes, all the different books and things he's got going on there. As always, guys, this is the end of August when this airs. If you haven't got into that giveaway for the $50 Amazon gift card, please make sure you do get in there. If you're catching this after August, jump onto that September giveaway. I have something in the works. I'm not going to quite share yet. If it comes through, I think it'll be pretty awesome. If not, there's always going to be something amazing there for you guys. Head over to thesocialchameleon.show/pick-me and enter in for every month's giveaway. Always at that link. And in closing here, if you guys found some help and some great information here from Dave, please share this with at least 2 other people you think this could help too. If you'd like to support our show by investing in yourself in your education, you can always have a Patreon page. And if you think we might have earned it, you can become a Patreon. Let's get some fun little extra things there. We can do a Q&A and all kind of things. There's lots of great perks there at patreon.com. In between shows, you can follow us on our journey at the Social Chameleon Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast app. If you're listening to the podcast version, if you wouldn't mind leaving a review and rating, it helps our show reach more amazing people just like you. And for past episodes and links to everything we've talked about, you can visit thesocialchameleon.show. And until next time, keep learning, growing, and transforming into the person you want to become.